And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, a little humid out there, starting off at 76 degrees.
San Antonio police searching for the driver accused of seriously injuring a woman with their car. What we're learning led up to the incident.
And new details about the relationship between an Alabama corrections officer and an inmate who are both now at the center of a manhunt.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning to you. It's Thursday, May 5th, otherwise known as
Cinco de Mayo.
Happy Cinco de Mayo, everyone.
Hope you've had a great week so far, and we're getting a lot of rain. Well, at least we did overnight.
Yeah, with some big storms, including some gusty winds, some hail, and Justin is here with more on that. And I guess the focus shifts from our overnight hours to a chance later today.
That's exactly right. We're going to see some storms, I think, as we get into the afternoon. Maybe a few more strong ones, so that's something we'll watch for. I don't think it's going to be terribly widespread, but there is the chance there. I want to show you what happened last night. This was around 6 o'clock. We had a big storm develop in Mexico, traveled all the way down Highway 90 to San Antonio, dropping hail and gusty winds as it did. 20 reports of severe weather in our area yesterday. Some baseball-sized hail around Spofford, some 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts around Brackettville, and then a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust as this thing was winding down here in San Antonio. We did get some decent rain out of that, and we'll show you the rainfall totals here in just a bit. But let's get to the radar now, because we are starting to see some more development as we get out into Uvalde County. We'll keep an eye on that. Right now, just some shower activity. Nothing here around San Antonio, and in fact, the sun is trying to pop out, so that may actually help destabilize the atmosphere just a little bit. We've got a frontal boundary that's stretching across Texas. That'll sink a little bit further south today, and that will help to generate some of those showers and storms. In the meantime, temperatures sitting at 77 degrees at the airport, 77 at Randolph, some 80s already in places like Stinson and down towards Pleasanton. Very quickly, the pollen count. Molds are high today. They jumped up after last night's rain. 7,220. Pecan is moderate at 140. Here's our KSAT 12-hour forecast. We'll put in a 30% chance around noontime at 80 degrees. We'll bring those chances up to about a 40% shot through the early afternoon. But I think by dinner time, a lot of this is beginning to wind down. Temperatures in the 80s this evening, and eventually we're getting up into the 90s as we get into tomorrow and Saturday. We'll have much more on that coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin. We've got leftovers from the morning commute. Slowdown still exists right now. I do see one accident right now just east of Sampsey over there on northbound 410 as you're approaching I-35 towards the southbound cutoff. But again, affecting the northbound lanes of 410 right past Seguin Road near Benzingelman.
And the search continues this morning for a missing 15-year-old girl. Yvette Williams was last seen around 10 last night in a neighborhood in West Bexar County outside of Loop 1604.
Bexar County Sheriff's Office says she was last seen wearing a red shirt and red shorts with black lettering. She has a nose piercing on the right side, a bar piercing on the top of her left ear, and wears those black glasses.
Anyone with information on where she could be, you are asked to call the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. That number 210-335-6000.
It was anything but a happy meal for some people at an East Side McDonald's. San Antonio police say a 19-year-old woman is in the hospital with serious injuries as a result of a fight there, one that ended with her being hit by a car.
Trina Weber has that story from South W.W. White Road near I-10 and tells us the search is still on for that driver.
Police told us that someone used an SUV to ram into that woman several times. They say a dispute that actually started inside McDonald's spilled out into the parking lot. Officers got here after it was all over. That was after 9:30 last night. They say witnesses told them that there were two groups of people involved in that dispute inside the restaurant. As they were walking out, police say someone in an SUV who had been in the fight hit the victim, slamming her into another SUV. Then they say that same driver rammed into a garbage dumpster with the victim still on the hood of the vehicle. That person was gone when police arrived. The woman, who is 19 years old, was taken to a hospital and was in serious condition, according to officers. Now, I got a chance to get up close to that dumpster, and there is a very big dent in the heavy metal, so it shows that there was quite a bit of force involved. Police are still looking for the driver. Reporting from the East Side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
And let's look at today's 9 at 9.
Sentencing is underway for Angelica Navarro de Paz after a jury found her guilty of hiring an undercover officer to kill her boyfriend's sister. After 6 days of testimony, it took the jury just 3 hours to reach a verdict. She now faces 5 to 99 years or life in prison.
New security fencing is up at the U.S. Supreme Court, where crowds have been gathering all week following the leak of a draft opinion on abortion rights. And perhaps another sign of the leak fallout, Justice Samuel Alito, the author of the draft opinion, has pulled out of a public appearance. A Supreme Court spokeswoman gave no reason as to why.
Interest rates have gone up again. The Federal Reserve raised its benchmark rate by a full 0.5 percentage point. That's the most aggressive move in more than 20 years. The Fed also signaling it will continue raising rates this year to fight inflation.
The threat from COVID is ticking up. U.S. health experts are keeping a close watch on South Africa, where COVID cases are on the rise due to Omicron subvariants. The U.S. is averaging nearly 58,000 new COVID cases per day, according to Johns Hopkins University. That's roughly a 10% hike from the week before.
Tornadoes hitting the Great Plains. Images coming in from Oklahoma, where widespread damage is being reported in Seminole. Multiple tornadoes also hit near the Texas border. Tornadoes have hit the U.S. in record numbers so far this year, 218 reported in March alone. The highest number ever for that month before tornado season even technically began. Today, more severe storms are expected from Dallas to Little Rock to Memphis.
The man who attacked comedian Dave Chappelle while he was performing on stage has been identified as 23-year-old Isaiah Lee. He's been booked for felony assault with a deadly weapon. Chappelle was not injured during that incident. The motive behind the attack remains unclear.
The FDA has given the green light for new testing aimed at improving diagnosing Alzheimer's disease. The LumaPulse test is intended to be used in patients age 55 and older with various causes of cognitive impairment. It's the first in vitro diagnostic test that could offer alternatives to time-consuming and expensive scans.
The company behind TurboTax will be sending rebates to millions of taxpayers. It has reached a settlement with attorneys general from all 50 states over allegations that its ads offering free tax filing services were deceptive. The company will pay out $141 million.
Some parts of the economy are starting to look like 2019 again. Ticketmaster now says concert ticket sales are up 45% compared to pre-pandemic levels. Planet Fitness says its gym memberships have bounced back too. And air travel is now almost back to pre-pandemic levels as well. And that's today's 9 at 9. In the other morning headlines, the hunt in Alabama continues for a deputy and an inmate, and a new look at the Kansas tornado that hit late last week.
Plus Marathon Madness, a woman motivated in a unique way to set a running record, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame getting new members. David Sears is here.
Quite a class this year in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And of course, Dolly Parton said she didn't want to go into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Because
I heard you listening to Jolene this morning.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a second.
Okay.
Very interesting. I heard some stuff on the radio today. But first, let's start with this. As soon as this case is solved, this is going to be a good movie. We are getting more information about that relationship between an Alabama corrections officer, Vicky White, and an inmate, Casey White, not related, at least not yet. They were waiting. The inmate was waiting for trial on capital murder charges, and he's already serving a 75-year sentence for a series of crimes. They are on the run, and the hunt for the pair continues. Now, the investigation is revealing some pretty interesting tidbits that strengthens their relationship. We're finding out that the inmate, Casey White, was getting special privileges that no other inmates were getting, and it included extra food. There is video of Casey leaving the prison with Vicky. She puts him in the back seat, and that patrol car takes off. Instead of heading to court like she said, they went to a parking lot where their getaway car was waiting. It's a 2007 copper-colored Ford Edge. Vicky bought the car the night before and just left it there until she needed it on the day she broke Casey out of jail. More evidence. This was a thought-out, planned operation. Vicky sold her home for $95,000. That's more than $100,000 under market value of $205,000. And then she moved in with her mom next door. The relationship between the Whites may have started back in 2020, and the sheriff has a warning for the deputy.
We do know that there was no communication between the two other than when she was at work. We think there was a connection there.
A romantic connection.
Yeah. Vicki, you've been in this business for 17 years. You've seen this scenario play out more than once, and you know how it always ends.
So far, there is a $10,000 reward for information leading to the inmate and a $5,000 reward for information leading to the deputy. We mentioned the severe weather just a couple of minutes ago under 9 at 9, but let's take you back to last week. This is security video just released. This is that EF3 tornado that ripped through Kansas. There are shots from the camera on top of the City Hall building, and that's in Andover, and you can see the debris field and nearly a direct hit on City Hall. The winds got up to 155 miles an hour. It damaged 1,000 buildings and took out the Prairie Creek Elementary School and the local YMCA. Believe it or not, no reports of anyone killed, even with all that damage. Steph, this one's for you and all your running buddies. This lady set a new world record. Jackie Hunt ran 104 marathons in 104 days.
Oh my God.
Here's what's even more amazing. She did it as an amputee with a running blade. The South African native lost her left leg just below the knee to a rare form of cancer back in 2001, but that did not stop her.
I was told that when I had my leg amputated, it's like, it's okay, you're going to be in a wheelchair, you'll be fine. It's like, this is your new normal. When you become an amputee, there's a stigma, like you're put in a box, you're disabled. Running just makes me feel strong and fearless, and it makes me feel free.
Talk about strong. That's how far she went with those 104 marathons, 2,724.8 miles, just shy of running from New York to LA. Her favorite marathon is the Boston Marathon, and now she is training for a 240-mile race in October.
Nice.
That's
impressive.
Unbelievable. And finally, a country star is going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, whether she wants to or not. Dolly Parton will be among the inductees headed to the Hall this year. She'll be joined by Pat Benatar, a pioneer in rock music, Lionel Richie, Henry Belafonte, Carly Simon, Eminem, and the pop group Duran Duran. Remember, Dolly said that she was nominated and she wanted her name withdrawn. She is too big of a music icon to have her name withdrawn from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She said she will just say thanks now. Induction is November 5th. But we were talking about the song Jolene, and I was listening to the radio this morning, and some of the guys on the radio were talking about how when she does that song, it sounds like a rock and roll song. She's got a little attitude when she does that song. And then Miley Cyrus did that song I think back in 2012, she did the song. And If you listen to Miley Cyrus do it, she sounds a lot like Dolly Parton. And Miley is rock and roll. She's nowhere near country. So, it's a song that makes her show off that attitude of rock and roll. So she deserved to be in the rock and roll.
Well, she should be honored regardless.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Dolly Parton.
She's got that little rock and roll twang.
Yeah, she does. All right. You Duran Duran fan, David?
There she is. There's the Duran Duran fan right there. Well, hey, just jockeying in the 80s, man, that's what you play.
Yeah.
Well, and congrats to all of them. Pat Benatar was here for the tricentennial with you at Geraldo, and they were amazing. Absolutely amazing.
He had one of the first, if not the first, videos on MTV.
I believe it.
Really?
Right?
Huh.
Duran Duran song, name one real quick.
Yeah.
Name a Duran Duran song, come on.
What?
Duran Duran.
Hungry Like the Wolf.
Yeah. I was going to say, Hungry Like the Wolf. I was going to whisper it. David, thank you. 9/11, about 76 degrees, still ahead on the GMSA at 9.
The latest on an apartment fire on the northwest side that has some residents displaced this morning.
Most of us are all too familiar with allergies, but now new research is showing that climate change could be making allergy season worse. We'll explain after the break. It's the middle to end of spring, and for millions of Americans, seasonal allergies are still in full swing.
And according to the Allergy and Asthma Foundation of America, San Antonio is number 5 in the top 10 most challenging places to live with seasonal allergies.
And new research shows climate change may be making allergy season worse. Here's ABC's Alex Prochet.
Spring allergy season may leave many Americans feeling miserable.
People complain about symptoms being more intense than ever.
According to a recent study co-authored by Allison Steiner, pollen season is going to get longer and even more intense as a result of climate change.
We looked at how pollen was changing and tried to understand its response to temperature, precipitation, and higher CO2 concentrations. So when we look at just including things like temperature and rain, we found that the pollen emissions increased by about 16 to 40% over the U.S.
But if global carbon dioxide emissions continue as they are now, the U.S. could face up to a 200% increase in total pollen in the next 100 years. Previously published research reveals that in North America from 1990 to 2018, pollen season lengthened by 20 days and pollen concentration increased by 21%. Allergist Dr. Nita Ogden says existing patients are experiencing more severe reactions and there's also an uptick in new patients.
That's one of the biggest things that allergists see now are people who are in their 30s and 40s and 50s and are first-time allergy sufferers.
So what can Americans do to protect themselves from longer and more severe allergy seasons? Check the air quality index every day in your area.
You want to look and see if the pollen count is high that day. It's going to inform sort of how you wear a hat, maybe sunglasses, protect yourself from the pollen, a mask, have your medication, depending on what you take, with you if you need extra.
Although there are ways to mitigate symptoms, the impacts of climate change on allergy season are a cause for concern. Experts say allergies not only put severe sufferers in the hospital, but also affect people's daily lives in terms of productivity and quality of sleep. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.
And taking a look outside with live cam, it's a little humid out there, but I have to admit, stepping out for my other coffee was kind of nice because it was kind of cold in the studio. It was a nice little break for me.
Listen, I feel that way every day, but I know I'm in the minority here.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
What, just me and Justin?
It's so cold in here.
It does. It gets cold.
Let's look at a photo here from our KSAT Connect. This is from last night. We had some damage here in Bexar County. This was here in San Antonio. Some gusty winds with that storm that came all the way from Mexico, made its way down Highway 90. And this was the end result. Things kind of were winding down here in San Antonio. Those winds, though, still strong enough to produce damage like this, a few trees. And we've seen a few more pictures like this, some pictures of hail, too, coming out of this storm. Here's the observed rainfall. And the numbers were pretty good, 1.84 out there near Laughlin, near Del Rio, about 0.14 of an inch in Del Rio, but over an inch in Hondo, over an inch in Medina Lake, San Antonio International officially about 1/4 of an inch. And this fell over areas where we need it. This is the new Drought Monitor, and you can see exceptional drought in areas that received some pretty good rain last night. So that's the positive note here. Of course, we don't want the severe weather. But there are the numbers here across Bexar County. Alamo Ranch, 0.63 if you're up in Helotes, over 1/2 inch for you. Bernie, close to 1/2 inch. The numbers were a little lower in northern parts of Bexar County, 800 at Stone Oak. But Stinson picked up nearly 7/10 of an inch. So some welcome rain, as I mentioned. But we're going to have to contend potentially with a few more strong to severe storms today. As we look at the radar right now, there's not much out there other than this one cell here, which really isn't producing any lightning. It's more or less just a shower, but it's making its way into Utopia as we speak. So probably a pretty good downpour there. And this will work its way into Medina County up towards the Medina area here over the next 15 minutes or so. But that is all we see on the radar right now. I do think it becomes more active as we get towards midday and early afternoon. 80 degrees right now in Pleasanton, 78 at the airport, 77 Hondo. You're at 74 in Bulverde, 78 in New Braunfels, and we've got quite a bit of cloud cover out there with some sun peeking through. 78 at the airport, southerly winds at about 15, a very high dew point at 72. So there's plenty of moisture for this storm system to work with. And there is a boundary here that will move a little bit closer to us today. Now, it's not going to really move through, but it moves close enough to give us lift. And we're sort of on the tail end of things here. There will be more severe weather off to our north and east. Places like Shreveport, Waco, Tyler, that's where severe weather is really a good bet today. We're on the isolated portion of this. So, yes, we could see a couple of storms, some of which become strong, but I don't think it's going to be terribly widespread. Let's look at the computer model, and we'll fast forward to noontime. 40% chance of storms in the forecast here, and this does show a couple of thunderstorms trying to pop up. Don't pay too close attention to exactly where it's developing these storms. Just we're getting the general idea here that there will be some unsettled weather. This is around 4 o'clock, same story. And probably San Antonio north and northeast is where our best chances of rain will be today. Then as we get into the evening hours, 10 o'clock, these storms start to move south and move east of us. And then once the rain goes overnight, we'll see some clouds build back in briefly tomorrow morning. But then the big story becomes the heat. By tomorrow, we're in the mid-90s here in San Antonio, some places pushing 100 Friday afternoon with mostly sunny skies. And then on Saturday, this model shows 99. I think we're probably right around 100 here in San Antonio. But look at Carrizo Springs, 105. Places like Del Rio could be up around 107. So these are some big time numbers on Saturday and Sunday too, I might add. So Be careful out there if you have plans to be outside this weekend. 84 degrees today, 40% chance of storms, 96 Friday, 100 Saturday, 100 Sunday, and still hot and dry going into next week.
We'll just get through the triple digits this weekend.
We're going to have to.
Thank you, Justin.
Yep.
921, about 77 degrees.
And coming up next, how one man is hoping to help others fight their substance addiction after he got help thanks to a local nonprofit. We're going to share his story when we come back.
All right, I want to let you know we have a traffic alert right now. This is on 1604 at 151. Stephen just walked in the studio. Which direction did you say, Stephen?
We're seeing it right now in the eastbound according to Tech Stop right there at 151, not far from the Alamo Ranch Parkway. It's not causing a slowdown just yet, but we're working to get some information confirmed from our friends over at TransGuide and TechStop. And of course, we're going to get some updates here in a little bit and bring them to you.
All right, so fire, EMS, and a large vehicle. Looks like a tractor trailer on its side. A bunch of people standing out there on the side. Kudos to everybody in the booth for getting his microphone up and running here real quick. Stephen, thank you. We'll get back to you in a moment. Try to get some more information on that situation. Folks definitely slowing out there. Kind of odd, though. The roads don't really look really wet, and we don't have big storms in the area as of this particular moment.
Not in that area.
We'll figure out what's going on. The dangers that come with substance abuse can be felt physically, emotionally, and financially. But one nonprofit right here in Bexar County is helping those who may not be able to afford care and get help.
Lifetime Recovery has been around for nearly 60 years, and Patty Santos talked with a man who found help with that organization and is now doing what he can to help others.
Whenever I come in this door, I thank God.
John Welsh says a prayer over the bunk where he began to heal his addiction. As of today, he is 16 years sober.
It was formerly called the Ark. Thank God I knew this existed, and I needed help, so I found my way in on May 3rd of 2006 is when I walked in. Barely.
Welsh is now the chief operating officer for Lifetime Recovery, the 60-year-old facility that helped him get clean. He helped secure funding to continue its mission.
We're here serving the community as a whole with an emphasis on keeping people like me capable of being a productive member of society.
The Bexar County Commissioners support its work. Lifetime Recovery was granted its second contract with the Commissioners Court for the jail diversion program.
There's a large population of people being in and out of custody at Bexar County Jail that really the root cause of their issue is they're not criminals. They're people that need help with substance use.
Welsh says Lifetime serves about 160 people through the program annually, including about 35 of them through its inpatient facility. The jail diversion program also includes a 6 to 10 week outpatient program and continued counseling. Lifetime serves 1,300 people through various programs each year.
If we stay connected, they're very successful.
CEO David Phipps boasts a 62% completion rate and a 90-day sober success rate, which exceeds the Texas required 51% standard.
We don't turn anybody away for lack of financial resources.
Lifetime Recovery has raised over $9 million to update its current facility. That will help the nonprofit continue work that Phipps says saves entire families and communities.
We're not trying to make somebody good from being bad. We're trying to make somebody well from being sick. And that's a big difference.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
The facility currently houses about 60 men at their Lifetime Recovery Inpatient Facility Center.
They hope to help double that amount after renovations and construction is complete.
Right now it's 9:27, about 78 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, a restaurant program going on right now raising more awareness for Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
And the latest on a Northwest Side apartment fire that happened last night. What investigators believe may have sparked the flames. And Stephen is going to join us with more on that accident that is slowing traffic down right now over near 1604 and 151.
Not a good morning here at 1604 State Highway 151. We showed you this a few minutes ago before we went to commercial break. We are looking at some sort of big rig that has turned over there on the far west side of Bexar County, and it is causing some issues for drivers, as you can see at this shot from TransGuide. Now let's get a wider look and show you what we're spotting right now. You can see that we do have several first responders that are out there. Now that is some sort of big rig that has overturned. It's unclear right now if that driver faced any injuries or what exactly caused this incident, but you can make out also some folks out there in the green field over there in the corner working to clear this up. This could take a little while. So drivers, if this is in your route, let's tell you what you can expect, because we are starting to see that build up there at Loop 1604 over in the northbound lanes just before Culebra. Now that's where that traffic is building in that direction. So you can expect to see that for a little while. Again, these things take a little while to clean up. So just make sure you start looking for those alternative routes. We're going to do the same here, but let's go ahead and show you a wide look at the map while we're at it. 932 back here in the metro area, things are fine. We did have a crash here off 35 in those southbound lanes near Judson that is cleared out. We're not really concerned about any of the other spots around town, but this is going to be an issue for quite a while, we can expect. So 1604 State Highway 151 is where that crash has been reported. Keep in mind, this is in the northbound lanes in far west Bexar County. We'll work to bring you those details, so stay with KSAT for the very latest. Mark, Stephanie.
Right there by Alamo Ranch. Stephen, thank you. Well, on the city's northwest side, firefighters have been keeping an eye out for hot spots following a 2-alarm blaze at an apartment complex.
We have learned that several families were displaced. Jonathan Cotto was at the scene earlier and has the latest.
Busy morning for San Antonio firefighters responding to this apartment building on the city's west side. We know a number of people have been displaced. This video shows the scene last night shortly after 9 o'clock. San Antonio firefighters were called out to the Aspire apartments on the 1800 block of Bandera Road and Hillcrest. We know 4 of the apartments have major damage, but we are told firefighters were able to contain the flames to just this building. The Red Cross did make the scene. They say property management is assisting in relocating everyone affected. Crews on scene say there were kids playing with fireworks in the parking lot, but of course the cause of this fire remains under investigation. Reporting from the west side, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Other top stories we're following today. 2 men accused of leaving a man bloodied and hogtied on an East Bexar County road back in April are now in custody.
Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar says it was a heinous murder attempt and the victim surprisingly survived. He said those two men you just saw are responsible. That's 36-year-old Daryl King and 24-year-old Uriah Huffman.
The incident happened back on April 23rd. Sheriff's office says the 24-year-old victim was shot, stabbed, and tied up. Then he was left for dead on Lavernia Road. The sheriff believes all 3 men might have been involved in the drug trade.
Investigators are still looking for witnesses to a shooting and a crash yesterday afternoon on one of the city's busiest highways. Police say someone shot at a driver near I-35 and South Bend Engelman. That driver then veered into another car and then ended up hitting a tree.
First responders pronounced the man dead at the scene. The crash closed the southbound lanes of I-35 for hours yesterday. Investigators have spoken with at least 1 witness in the incident and are hoping to hear from others.
And taking a look outside with live cam, pretty calm now, just kind of humid out there, Justin.
Humid, mostly cloudy. We're seeing some sun at this hour. Temperatures trying to warm up a little bit into the 70s, but the radar revealing a few more showers and storms now starting to develop. So we've got 1 storm there in Bandera County. More activity really starting to blossom up there around Austin, but this is all well north of us. So let's go down to this cell that we have here in Bandera County, which is getting a little closer to Medina Lake, area that saw some good rain last night. This is still mostly just a good downpour as it's moving off to the north and east, but it's going to just move it through the east side there of the city of Bandera. So you expect some rain there, maybe a few lightning strikes with this. We'll zoom in a little bit closer. There's 173 right there. So this storm is just beginning to move into Bandera as we speak, as it moves off to the north and east, and it'll cross Highway 16 there between Bandera and Pipe Creek. We're expecting more of this kind of activity as we get into the afternoon. And frontal boundary gets a little bit closer. Temperatures right now in the 70s, 78 degrees, but you can see the difference here. It is 49 right now in Amarillo, 54 in Lubbock. This front's not going to really bring us cooler air, but it is going to give us the lift we need to get some showers and storms going. And we're starting to see more of that really beginning to blossom. There's the front right there, and you see the storms developing out ahead of it. We'll be on the tail end of things today, but there is that chance again for more storms here over the next couple of hours. We'll certainly be here to let you know if they do develop. 30% chance of rain around noontime, 80 degrees. We'll bump it up to a 40% chance early afternoon. I think by this evening, things are really starting to wind down. We'll see temperatures top out in the mid 80s today, staying warm and humid. And then temperatures really skyrocket in the next couple of days. We'll have more on that forecast, too, coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Justin. Protecting our troops while they fight for our protection. That's the goal for Texas researchers who are working to modernize the way we protect our service members from head injuries using the latest technology.
Ursula Perry explains more about smart helmets that are designed to keep our soldiers safe.
While many of us watch the action unfold on the big screen, Kaz Kowalski lived through it on the ground in Somalia during a firefight between U.S. troops and armed fighters.
The person to the left of me got hurt, the person one got hurt. I happened to just be in the right place at the right time at that point.
But not every soldier was so lucky, and that's why engineers at Rice University are working on this. The first printable smart helmet.
We employed the carbon printer to be able to print a very lightweight, strong material, and then integrate our electronics into it.
By using 3D printed nanomaterial exoskeletons, each helmet can be customized for the needs of each fighter. The lattice structure allows computers with health sensors, infrared cameras, and thermal maps to be built right into the helmet.
So if there is anything approaching the soldier that is a threat, the helmet will tell you that.
Those sensors, like those used in the NFL now, can not only tell if a person has suffered a concussion, but also how severe it is. And that's just the beginning.
This is the Google Glass. This is the actual augmented reality display. I can actually see everybody's thermal profiles.
4 cameras give a 360 infrared view. Artificial intelligence can detect threats and is capable of launching countermeasures.
It's the future, and we're trying to bring it forward.
This project is being funded by the U.S. Navy. Right now, it's just a prototype. All of the cameras and the sensors are all going to fit inside a normal-sized helmet, and they're hoping that all this technology is going to be ready for testing by the end of the year. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
And nearly 500,000 U.S. servicemen and women suffered a traumatic brain injury from 2000 to 2020. In combat, up to 35% have suffered a concussion.
Well, switching to other news now, in conversations about the Supreme Court leak of a draft regarding Roe v. Wade, you might have heard about trigger laws. 13 states have them, including Texas.
So what are they and how do they work in this case? Myra Arthur and the KSAT team breaks it down for us. Now, basically, they said to think of a trigger law as a just-in-case strategy. It's a way for states to automatically change their laws based on what happens at the federal level.
So in this case, if the Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade, attorney Rob Crane explains what it means in Texas.
Then 30 days after that ruling, automatic law goes into place saying that all abortions are banned in the state of Texas.
Again, this is all hypothetical. No official ruling's been made. Texas's abortion trigger law has been on the books since last summer after Governor Abbott signed House Bill 1280. It came out of that same legislature that passed SB 8, the controversial law banning Texas abortions after 6 weeks.
13 states have trigger laws related to abortion, and most of those, like Texas, have their own abortion restrictions in place. You can learn more about this story on our website at ksat.com.
9:40, about 78 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
And when we come back, we're going to tell you more about a restaurant passport program that's going on right now to honor Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month and to save you some money as well.
Welcome back, 9:43. In honor of Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, there's a restaurant passport program underway in San Antonio right now.
Some local restaurants have teamed up to bring awareness to the Asian American Pacific Islander community and to help you save some money on a meal.
RJ Marquez tells us how the passport program works.
For more than 25 years, Sari Sari has been a staple for Filipino cuisine in our area.
The original location on Wurzbach in Leon Valley was opened by my parents, Adam and Imelda Valenzuela, in 1995.
Camille de los Reyes' parents immigrated from the Philippines to San Antonio in the 1980s when there were very few options for Filipino food.
My dad would have to travel to Houston to find those things, and when he would buy enough for the nursing community that lived in our neighborhood.
Fast forward 3 decades later, and De Los Reyes, who co-owns Sari Sari with her husband Adrian, recently opened another location off Highway 151.
The population is just growing and growing. Thank goodness for it. I feel like we've survived because of it.
That growth also gave Camille and local design company Due South Creative an idea to start the Restaurant Passport program to help locally owned Asian American Pacific Islander restaurants.
And here's a look at the Restaurant Passport, which features the participating restaurants and also some food trucks there. All you have to do is go up to the front when you're done with your meal. You get 10% off and you get marked off for that particular restaurant.
I really wanted to bring attention to our culture and to other Asian cultures.
More than 20 eateries have already signed on for the Passport program, and the list keeps growing. Camille says it's another way to honor her past and help these restaurants thrive in the future.
It feels really good to bring light to this kind of thing. It feels like it's an extension of myself.
RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
It's not an accident that we run food stories in the lead up to lunchtime.
Yeah, we're also trying to, put Justin on the spot, make him hungry.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time, every time. Hey, guys, we've got a storm that we're watching here in Bandera County that is starting to grow in intensity a little bit. It is not severe, but we're seeing more lightning strikes. We're starting to see the core of the storm become a little bit better defined here. So I want to show you what's going on. Again, here's San Antonio. We got Bandera County here, and you see those white lines there. Those represent lightning strikes with this storm it's kind of elongated, but it stretches from basically the Medina-Bandera County line and then up towards the city of Bandera, at least just to the south and east of it. And you see these red colors, that represents some very heavy rain, likely some good rainfall rates. And probably you could see a little bit of minor street flooding here if this storm continues to kind of redevelop over the same area. And you can see it right there. Let's put a track on this because it is moving northeast at a pretty good clip, and we can track where this may head here for the next hour or so. We'll say 30 miles per hour on the speed, and that would put it near Bernie at about 10:15 this morning. Should this storm continue to grow in intensity, it could become severe, so that's why we want to keep an eye on it. Pipe Creek, same story. This is basically on your doorstep, 9:48 this morning as it moves north and east, and eventually will likely cross Interstate 10 a little bit later. And there you see the new scan, and that storm is, again, just to the south of the city of Bandera. And there's a nice little pink core there, likely telling me that there's some good heavy rain. And we can look at the rainfall rates as well with this particular storm and see what kind of rainfall it's putting down. And that purple color there probably indicating, about 4 inches per hour. So right along Highway 173 there south of Bandera, there's going to be some pretty good heavy rain. And I would imagine that's going to work its way up to Pipe Creek here fairly soon. So that's one storm that we're watching. There is likely going to be a few more that develop as we head towards the afternoon, and you'll see perhaps some strong storms mixed in there just based on how the atmosphere is setting up today. Nothing here around San Antonio, just some mostly cloudy skies at the moment. So let's look at the big picture here, and here's the setup. So we have a frontal boundary that's stretching across central Texas, and it's right along that's where we're starting to see some development. And you see up here around Waco, a lot of storms really starting to fire. So really blossoming here, Waco to Dallas, and we'll probably see some development here north of Austin. We're on the tail end of things, but there still is some energy here, and that's why we're seeing some storms at the moment. Isolated severe weather today. I think for us, you'll find more severe weather up across northeast Texas, Waco over to Shreveport, and a little closer look here at what we're dealing with. Castroville, Bandera, down to Forestville. Those are the areas that could see the severe weather. And then once we head into this evening, things will begin to wind down. Here's a look at our computer model, and it does show these storms kind of flaring up. So we'll put in a 40% chance of rain around the lunch hour. And then by 4 p.m., still some storms around here. I think as we get into the evening, as I said, this will start to move east and southeast, and by tonight, it is moving out of here. And then we're done with the rain. Rain chances basically go away for almost a full week, it looks like. Very quickly, there's the scene outside. We've got mostly cloudy skies, 78 degrees, temperatures generally in the 70s and 80s, and I don't think we'll warm a whole lot today, probably mid-80s for highs. So the KSAT 12-hour forecast, 30% chance at noon, 80 degrees. We'll bring that up to a 40% chance early afternoon, and then by the time we get into, say, 7, 8 o'clock, rain chances really do go away, and temperatures fall down into the 80s. 96 tomorrow, triple digits as we've been saying over the weekend, and still continued hot into next week. We'll be right back.
Would you expect anything less from Tom Cruise? He made a, shall we say, dramatic entrance to the red carpet for the premiere of Top Gun Maverick in San Diego, California.
ABC's Will Gans has more from the premiere and what Tom Cruise says was a big sticking point for him when shooting Top Gun 2.
We've seen red carpet entrances like this. We've even seen red carpet entrances like this. But we've never seen one quite like this. Tom Cruise landing a helicopter himself on the USS Midway to walk the red carpet for the premiere of Top Gun Maverick in San Diego.
Just being on this red carpet with this backdrop in this city, right across the bay from where we shot this thing, it's pretty spectacular.
Tom Cruise has had his pilot's license since 1994. Tom telling MTV about his long-standing love of flying.
First Top Gun, one of the things that I had was in my contract that I had to fly in the F-14 and be filmed in the F-14. That was a stipulation. I always wanted to make movies and be an aviator.
36 years after the original Top Gun came out, Tom is back as Maverick with a new crew of actors strapping into those fighter jets.
We had to work with them to set them up to win. I want to see them really win, and when they're in the F-18 that they feel confident and comfortable and that they are their characters.
Tom taking the younger cast members under his wing.
When you work with TC, I don't believe it's done until we're here right now. I just always was waiting on a call to be like, hey, we can make something a little better. We can make something a little better. Miles, where are you in November? I don't know. All right, you're coming to London, or you're coming to wherever. So there was a lot of that.
Will Gans, ABC News, New York.
Top Gun Maverick opens in theaters nationwide Memorial Day weekend. Tickets on sale now. I went ahead and got my tickets on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, you've been waiting for this.
Yeah, and to see it on IMAX. Why not, right?
Yeah. Awesome. We look forward to that.
Let's get an update on the traffic situation out there on the far west side. Here's Steven.
It's look pretty much the same. Mark, Steph, we're taking a look at 1604 State Highway 151. We know that we should call it an overturn 18-wheeler, actually, reported right there in the northbound lanes of 1604 just before Culebra. Not sure if they're going to shut down the lanes just yet, but just remember to drive safe, guys.
And one last look at the radar. We're still tracking that storm. This is not severe there in Bandera County, but it's just to the south of Bandera, working its way towards Pipe Creek, crossing over Highway 16 there. Some pretty heavy rain. We're going to see some lightning and thunder with this, and this could be a little bit of a precursor with more storms expected this afternoon. This is also going to work its way towards Bernie next couple of hours. We'll be here to track it for you. We'll keep you posted. We're also going to have more on KSAT News now at 11 o'clock. But here's the setup. And you can see there's a lot of storms developing up there around Waco, Dallas, up towards Tyler. Storm Prediction Center is probably going to put out a watch here soon. Don't know that it will include San Antonio, though. I think it'll probably be to our north and east. And that's where the bulk of the severe weather will be today. But we still need to keep a close eye on the radar.
So severe thunderstorms possible. What is the risk level for tornadoes for us today, Justin?
It's low. It's low. The main threats, I think, are going to be hail and gusty winds if we see severe weather at all. And again, we've got that one storm out there, but you see really most of it is going to be up I-35 north of Austin.
Okay, and we reminded folks this morning, get the Weather Authority app. If you do have it, make sure your notifications are updated so you get alerts from our team of experts. Stephen, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for your help. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.